what's up? Coach K here, guys. How you doing? It is Thursday, and in Thailand tomorrow it is start of Songkran. If you never heard of Songkran before, it's actually really fun. Get to Thailand at some point in your life and do it. Imagine when you were a kid and you remembered this massive, those massive like get your super soaker out and soak everyone and what. Well, basically Songkran is a festival. Basically, think of it like water washing away all the years, troubles and sins and stuff. And so that's what Songkran's all about. So it's something that I would highly recommend you guys to at one point in your life check out. It's really fun and people here are really nice and yeah, have really good time. So that's something that I'll be looking forward to in the next couple of days, taking my kids to the water park, doing some really fun stuff with them. And yeah, I'd love for you guys to one day join me on those adventures, maybe next year. You never know. Let's see how we do. But getting back to business, I want to tell you guys what I think is actually happening in the market, things that you should, maybe warning signs, and then a little bit of a sad story that's happened to one of the people in the industry that kind of makes me really sad because someone I watched and followed for quite a while passed away. So let's get on to it and start. First thing I want to talk about is the Coinbase Visa card, where they're going to make Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple, XRP, Litecoin payments in actual reality. So some people are saying like this is great, you'll pull out your Coinbase card, you pay with cryptocurrency. Some people think it's like it's a good idea, it'll be really easy to spend your money, and I think it's got good and bad. Here's the good. The good is that you only have to pay a little bit for the card. The bad is you're probably gonna have to pay fees, right? So kind of the whole idea of crypto was to try to take away some of these exorbitant fees. So we really have to see what those fee structures are like, but many of my friends in the industry have said the fees won't be much different than Visa and MasterCard currently, and they might even be more. So it gives us adoption and will help, but at the same time, it will also potentially hinder people from spending their crypto still. Now, that won't be forever. And I mean, if you bought crypto at 3,000 right now, you'd be like, cool, I'm buying stuff for way cheaper. If you have Bitcoin, for example. So there are good and there are bad. I just want to highlight those things so that you guys know that this is not perfect yet, but we're definitely taking more steps every single day into the mass adoption square. Of course, we're only at like 1% or maybe 2% of people actually holding or using cryptocurrencies yet, but this is a number that's going to increase based off of the fundamental analysis that the whole entire world is developing blockchain infrastructure. They're building smart cities. There's a lot of other things we could talk about as well. So these are all very great things. Of course, Bitcoin's price recently has shown a nice uptick, as we can see on the chart here. I'm going to show you a little bit more about that and a little bit of analysis of what's happening there. And I did say a while back, and I'm not trying to say this, but as a cocky thing, is I did say that watch for April, right? Now, another thing that we're seeing is institutions, we saw this today, have actually, we've seen an uptick in the institutional side for some things. And what we have seen with that side of the institutional is it's quite telling and quite interesting. And I'll tell you why this is quite telling and quite interesting. So we've seen things like institutional adoption increase, or institutions increase for April about 88%. So I'm actually going to go over this actual post that I posted earlier today in this morning when I woke up, because I wanted people to really understand what's going on in the industry. So let me just go to that right now and talk about this. So we do see Fidelity and all these other people like BlackRock and more. Let me just find really quick the other group. I think it's Green Shield. They increased their overall crypto holdings by about 10%. And if you look at it's Grayscale, sorry. So let's just jump onto that right now. I'm just gonna turn this bad boy on. So as you can see, guys, Grayscale has increased their BTC value to $1.1 billion. And it was used to be $1 billion. So we asked who the mystery people were that invested $100 million into Bitcoin. It could be these guys because they have increased their holdings by $100 million, Grayscale. They have decreased their XRP. And just another thing to put in there, UND, Unification, I made a video about this yesterday. They sold out without bots in 2 minutes, $400,000 on Bit4X. And this is a project, like I've told you guys, it's like the next XRP. They are going to use work chains that are permissioned and then put it on the main chain, so it still will be immutable, but before everyone has to agree. So this can be people, not just computers. People will all have to agree, then it will go on the main chain. So it's a really cool project. Check it out if you haven't before. It will be trading on DigiFinex, which is not an exchange I really like that much, but it will be there, and Bit4X in a couple days. But just a little hearsay, something that I know. Watch for a Korean exchange that they're going to be on soon. They're going to be on one of them. All right. So just keep that in mind. It's something that I'm telling you so that you can check out. All right. So now I want to go back to the post that I was talking about here, is this one. So I said this morning that it's quite telling when you let institutions take over BTC, being peer-to-peer, it goes out the window. They're conspiring to beat us, and together we must be smart and follow the waves they place. Ride with them, the institutions, but 88% more longs were placed, okay? And they knew something, just like I kind of did. I had a feeling because of people talking that there was some stuff going on in the pipeline. Didn't know for sure about April, but I was quite sure, like 95%. April was long awaited for the boom, and it came literally a day after April Fools. Careful, it's why trades stop. It's when you trade, use tight stop losses. They're needed. BTC can boom and it can go back down to $4,000. We need to be careful in volatile markets. This is just a reminder for anyone who's been in crypto since 2017. You know what it's like. If you've been in before that, you know what it's like anyways, a few times, right? So if you want to catch the full waves, and remember, this is not financial advice, guys. This is stuff that I'm thinking. It's my own opinion. So do not take this as financial advice, all right? Just keeping that out. If you want to try and catch the full waves in BTC, think of putting all your BTC in play for now. You can do this. This is an option you have, right? You can do it with tight stop losses so you don't miss the huge waves and you don't risk too much because you have a tight stop loss, right? This way you can sell your back to USDT automatically without having to worry like if it drops drastically like it did overnight. When it jumps, then you can trail the stop loss, so keep changing it and going higher, and that way your BTC value will grow, which is the whole idea of crypto, is increasing the amount of Bitcoin you have, even though it's nice to think like, yeah, we get more money, which is both things, but if you have more Bitcoin and it grows, that means you'll have more money too. So give and take, right? So alts are very scary right now, and that's something else to keep in mind. Be careful. It's why recently I only put in 3 trades last week, and the long-term holds, obviously, if you have them and you still hold them and they're down a bit or they're up a bit but not as much as before, the idea is that you would continue to buy the dip. So this is something that I personally do. This is not financial advice. It's just something that you can do. So I said, stay thirsty and humble. It's the start of the financial freedom, the world of financial freedom, and it is. So keep that in mind. It's not financial advice, but it's something always to keep in mind. Remember, my big line is listen with your eyes, not with your ears. So watch what people do. Don't listen to what they say because they will mislead you. And here's a really good example of that. CNBC, Bitcoin bounces back. They start talking very bullish about Bitcoin. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna, you know, Brian comes on, I think it's really gonna, it's the fundamentals and da-da-da-da. And then literally hours after they make this video, which was yesterday at, I don't remember what time it was, but it was yesterday at some point. What did we see in Bitcoin? Well, if you just go to the chart, you can look. So if we zoom right in here, they were talking about it around this time on April 10th. It boomed up and it dropped right down. It's been following this nice pennant right here, kind of along what I drew a couple days ago for my partner Servi, telling him it's going to go up, it's going to come down, it's going to go up, it's going to come down. And so it's kind of following that. So we're not in oh my god world yet, so chill, it's all good. But when these guys start saying this, I'm going to show you some other examples just so you have an idea of the fundamental side of what's happening, so you really can grasp what's going on. Now, just before I do that, I want to say my condolences to Sam Capizzi. I don't know what happened to him. If you guys ever followed Cryptosomniacs, they were a group, they've been very active in the crypto community. They did lots of good, great people. Somehow, some way, and I don't know how, Sam Capizzi passed away. It's really, really sad. I mean, the last time you know, I saw something, I couldn't believe it till they saw the obituary that was on his Twitter page. No idea what happened. It's really sad. If you guys know what happened, do comment on the video. Remember to subscribe and share. But yes, this is my condolences. This has nothing to do with crypto specifically, but a horrible thing that happened to such a good person for the crypto community. And yeah, sorry, Sam, wherever you are, up there, down there, wherever you're at, man. You know, crypto world thanks you a lot for all that you've done for us. Now, let's look at some really telling things. So here is the BTC longs. As you can see, they were getting very strong, and now they're starting to come back down. So that kind of could tell you that maybe the shorts are starting to increase versus the longs. And here's a really interesting one as well. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum's longs were pretty much at their all-time high, and right now they're almost 8-to-1. So there's 8 shorts, sorry, 8 longs for every short. So this is interesting just for the fact that, and thank you, Blake, one of our members who posted this. It's really interesting to see how many there were and that ratio. And then we think of like BitMEX Rect. If you guys have ever looked at it on one of my videos, you look at BitMEX Rect, and I'm sure some really nasty people got wrecked. So let's just take a quick look at that. If you guys ever go on there, it's just Rect at BitMEX Rect. And let's see if anyone did get pretty badly burned by this last couple of days. So someone lost 500k. Let's see if there's anyone who's gotten really demolished lately. Not that bad, actually. You'd expect a lot more recently from all the different movements, but people probably put tighter stop losses and got smarter. But we're seeing a lot of 500k. Here's a really bad one. 5 hours ago, $2.7 million liquidated on XBT. $1 million liquidated, $400,000 liquidated. So there has been liquidations going on. 900k liquidated on XBT. So it's sad to see this, and I hate it. But remember, BitMEX is really bad in terms of if you don't have tight stop losses. So this person on XRP got burned for 1.7 million. This person on XRP got burned for 1.5 million, 2 million, 1.3 million. So you see there's a lot of people that got burned on the dump. Monster kill right here for Bitcoin liquidated along at 52.76. So just keep in mind that there's a lot of these happening right now, and you have to be very careful in volatile markets, right? Now let's look at actually Bitcoin right here and what I thought was happening and where we're at. So I thought we were going to reach this level right here, this resistance zone around 54.60, around there. There's a nice little bit of resistance, and we're in a pennant right now, which is ascending pennants are good. Usually we can break up to the upside, but at the same time also be wary that it's kind of scary territory if it breaks below this pennant, right? And we gone up, we come down, we've 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 gone up, almost touched the top of the pennant, and we came down. And I mean, it could move this a little bit, be a little more accurate, but you know, we're doing that normal pattern, right? Now we could do a couple things. We could come down and actually go down to where I expected it to go and test that 5,000 range, which I still think is very possible, but we have to see if it breaks down below this pennant. And then if it doesn't, it will jump off this and come back toward the top. It may go through the top, or it may come down and then go toward 5,500, which eventually will lead us to 6K. Now, something to be really wary about. If we break 5.5 and we go above it strongly, we will go close to 6. There'll be a lot of new people come in the market thinking they're FOMOing in, and they'll get wrecked. Okay, so guys, be very careful at this time. The market's unsure. And if the market's unsure, you have to be very careful. Same with Ethereum. Ethereum had this nice little, what looked like a bull flag. I don't know, maybe not, but it looked kind of like a bull flag to me. And it broke out, and it was like, cool. And the second it touched the top of that resistance, it went right back down, and now it's hitting that support 2 times so far. And it's kind of starting to come back up, and that's a good thing. I mean, it's not bad if we see the market have a little bit of corrections, because it needs that. It can't go straight up all the time. It's not 2017. Remember that. Another thing about Bitcoin is the RSI on the, I think it's on the daily, I think it's where I saw it. The RSI on the daily is at the same level as in 2017 at the top. So right here's the top. We see it at, it was around 17, 18K when it got to that really high risk zone. And look where we're at right now. We were at the same level, right? For a couple days at the top, and now it's starting to come back down. So this is a good thing that it's doing that. It can't just keep going straight all the way up like it did before. And I told everyone from the start, we won't have this kind of FOMO, the same thing we had before. So expect these things to happen and set stop losses, and you'll be fine. Remember, it's not financial advice. This is just something to be smart. Just be smart, okay? Now, one other thing I want to show you guys. When these huge dumps happen, there's something you can look for. What you can look for is look for coins. You can do it on your watch list, but you can also do something pretty chill here. You can click on your crypto screener and pick filters. So I like to look for coins that have gone really below. Their RSI is like super low, right? So you can do that by just clicking on here and making a screener, choosing some filters in there. So if we go on like to Binance, all the coins on Binance that are on the 4 hour that are below 30 on the RSI, we can start seeing some things. What you can see, and this is not just the only strategy, you should not use this as a strategy, but it's something to give you where your eyes can be looking. When you see coins that get below that threshold of 30, what you usually also will see, and it doesn't matter which coin I choose, so I'll just show you with one. When it gets to that line right here, usually you'll see a pump. So here's one for power at 50%. Last time it touched that low. The last time it touched low before that was in July, and it also had a nice movement up over the next couple days of 70%. Now, these are not the only ways to do it, guys. This could be a smaller percentage too. But if you look on the 4 hour or the daily chart and you see the RSI is it's oversold, that's a good thing. you want to look for those things. It's a good indicator at the start. Obviously, we need to look at volume. We need to draw lines of support and resistance. We should look at Fibonacci. We can use several different indicators. Okay, we can use Ichimoku clouds. So the point here is, this is a really good indicator when you want to check to see if something might be a good buy. And so today, I personally bought some different projects. I'll just show you. I bought AMB because it was severely oversold. Now, another thing I looked at is, holy moly, AMB is also at its all-time low for Binance. So I figured, you know what, this might be a good opportunity because it's been kind of rising for a while and now it's fallen very hard. It might jump and bounce back from there. So this is the kind of stuff you can do. Obviously, I look at other factors than that, and I'm not going to tell you all of them because, you know, it'd take me forever to tell you how I fundamentally do analysis as well as TA. But I looked at it. It's the bottom. You know, you see that it's definitely dumped, right? The volume was coming up and it dumped super hard. So now it's in this range where it's been a couple times a little bit lower, but I feel because it's at the bottom, it won't go very much lower, but that also could be wrong too. So like I said, it's not financial advice, just showing you some things that you can look at to keep in mind. So if you like this video, go click that subscribe, like, or share button. Do me a favor. And remember, Songkran's coming up. If you're in Thailand or around Thailand or you want to come to Thailand, come. It's really fun. You'll have a great time with your kids, your family, yourself, some friends. You get a big super soaker and shoot some people and have some fun all day, all night for a few days. It's like a countrywide super soaker party from when you were a little kid. So great times that you can have here. And also, yeah, if you haven't done it yet, do take a look at Unification. Pretty cool project. It's got lots of stuff coming for it. XRP 2.0 potentially. It's got some cool things that they're doing with that project, and I am quite bullish on what they're gonna try to achieve. I can't say for sure they will, but something interesting that I've actually noticed. So that's it for today. Sorry, Sam Capizzi. Thank you all that you've done for this industry. It's sad, but you did a lot for this industry and it will not be forgotten, mate. And yeah, so Coinbase credit card could be great, could be not so great, you know, based off fees. We have the Bitcoin resurgence. Be very careful about that because of where the RSI is at on the daily. Remember, there's a lot of other factors like when CNBC and stuff talk about it. Keep that in mind, that when you hear these things that get bullish in the news, that might be a good indication that you should possibly retreat. Not financial advice, but possibly retreat, okay? And then if you do the opposite of what CNBC says, usually you're 85% right most of the time. So another factor to just factor in your decision making on your own. Do your own research, of course, But that's all I have for today. So I'll see you guys after Songkran. It's a holiday starting tomorrow. So have yourselves a great weekend wherever you are. If you have any questions, I'll leave in the comments where you can find me on Steam, on Twitter, on Reddit, on Twitter, no, Steam, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, etc. And you guys do click that follow and like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys soon. Subscribe button.